All right, let's talk about something that pretty much all of us do, probably without even thinking about it, comparing ourselves to others on social media. We're going to get into exactly why that's a habit you might want to break. So let's start with a quick gut check. Be honest with yourself. You've just spent, 30 minutes scrolling through your feed? You finally lock your phone. How do you actually feel? Are you feeling pumped up and inspired? Or is it something else? That kind of sinking feeling, a little bit of envy, maybe some frustration, or just down. If you know what I'm talking about, trust me, you are not the only one. It's pretty wild when you think about it, right? I mean, how we process our own lives has completely flipped. It used to be that you'd write your thoughts in a private diary, something just for you. But now, it's like we're all on stage. We're curating our lives, putting on a public performance, and then everyone gets to weigh in. It's a huge, huge shift. And the scale of this stage, it's just mind-boggling. We're talking 3.5 billion people. That's a global theater where we're all naturally wired to look around and compare ourselves to billions of other perfectly polished highlight reels. I mean, of course it's overwhelming. Okay, so here's the game plan. We're going to break down why this is happening. We'll look at why it's not real, how the game is kind of rigged, why those online arguments are pointless, and the real health risks. And then, the best part, we'll talk about how to take back control. All right, reason number one. What you're seeing isn't even real. It's a totally unfair comparison from the get-go. I love this quote because it just hits the nail on the head. You are comparing someone else's highlight reel to your own behind-the-scenes footage. And think about what that means. You know all your messy moments, right? The bad hair days, the doubts, the boring stuff. That's your behind the scenes. But what you see online, that's the polished, filtered, perfectly lit highlight reel of everyone else's life. So yeah, it's just not a fair comparison. It's like trying to compare a movie trailer to the whole, raw, unedited footage of your life. It's an impossible game to win because the rules are broken before you even start playing. This feeling is so real and so widespread that it's actually got a name. Researchers call it Facebook depression. It's that very specific feeling you get when you're looking at all these picture-perfect lives, and you just feel like yours doesn't measure up. And the numbers on this are, well, they're pretty sobering. Studies show that a super visual platform like Instagram can be the toughest on our mental health. And here's the part that's really worrying. If someone is already dealing with depression, they're 3 times more likely to fall into this comparison trap. It's a vicious cycle. Okay, so on to reason number 2. It's not just that the content is fake. The whole system is designed to keep you playing. It's basically a rigged game. And yeah, the house always wins. This is where we get into some real brain science. These apps are built on something called the slot machine effect. It's the same exact principle that makes slot machines in a casino so addictive. You pull the lever, maybe you win, maybe you don't. You refresh your feed, maybe there's a new like, maybe there's a new comment. That unpredictability gives your brain a little hit of dopamine and keeps you coming back for more and more and more. So the takeaway here is pretty simple. Don't let social media Vegas you. They want to keep you there, keep you scrolling, because your attention is what they're selling. And this is why comparing your numbers, your likes, your followers, is a total waste of energy. The numbers are gamed. You're competing against bots, fake accounts, people literally buying their followers, not to mention algorithms that are working against you. Those numbers, they say absolutely nothing about your actual worth. All right, reason 3. This one's a little different. It's not about comparing vacations, it's about arguments. You know that feeling, right? You're scrolling and you see it. Someone is just wrong on the internet. And you feel this deep, primal urge to jump in and set them straight. Well, before you do, take a look at this. Research shows you have about an 11% chance, basically a 1 in 10 shot, of actually changing someone's mind online. That means for every 10 arguments, 9 of them are going absolutely nowhere. Is it really worth all that stress for such a tiny chance? The author of one of the pieces we looked at told this great story. He's up late one night typing away on his phone, and his wife asks him what he's doing. And he says, because someone is wrong on the internet. And just hearing himself say it out loud, he realized how completely ridiculous it was. And he's not alone in feeling that way, not by a long shot. About half of all adults in the US say that getting into political talk on social media is just stressful and frustrating. It's a huge emotional drain for basically no reward. Okay, let's get to our 4th and final reason, and honestly, this one is the most serious. We're talking about a real health hazard here, and there's this big question at the center of it. It's the classic chicken or the egg problem. Does social media cause anxiety and depression, or do people who are already anxious and depressed just use social media more? Researchers are still debating this. But you know what? Here's the bottom line for you and me. The answer to that question, it doesn't actually matter. What matters is that the link, the correlation, is crystal clear. A ton of social media use is linked to poor mental health. And that means priority number one has to be your own well-being, period. Okay, so we've spent a lot of time talking about the problem. Let's switch gears to the most important part, the solution. What can you actually do to take back control? Here's your action plan. And the great news is these are real, practical things you can do like right now. Go into your phone settings and set some app timers. Turn off those notifications. Seriously, that's a game changer. Try keeping your phone out of arm's reach. And I really like this one, the 50-50 rule. No social media for the first 50 minutes you're awake and the last 50 minutes before you go to sleep. It sounds small, but it's a huge way to reclaim your focus. And while you're trying these things, it helps to just check in with yourself. Before you open an app, just ask, what am I actually looking for right now? Am I bored? Lonely? And after you scroll, ask, how do I feel now? Better? Worse? Just noticing your own habits is a massive first step. So let's wrap up with this. At the end of the day, the goal isn't to throw your phone in the ocean and live in a cabin. It's just about shifting your focus. Instead of looking sideways at what everyone else is doing, look forward at who you want to become. Because the only person you really need to compare yourself to is the person you were yesterday.